Hello and welcome to those joining us. Our group debate for today is ethical considerations for collaborating with other professionals. This is being completed for the course Professional Issues in Applied Behavior Analysis through Ball State University as part of the Masters of Applied Behavior Analysis program. We'll take just a few minutes to introduce ourselves before diving in. My name is D.Thamm, and I'll be the moderator for today's debate as well as arguing on the collaboration side. I completed my undergraduate degree at the University of Queensland in Australia in 2014. Since graduation, I have worked with children in a wide variety of settings, including before and after school care at an elementary school, residential treatment for children with severe behavioral and mental health needs, and a foster care case manager. Currently, I am a preschool teacher in Northern Kentucky where I live with my husband, 2 kids, and dog. Tatiana is my team member for today for the con collaboration side of the debate. Tatiana, can you tell us a little about yourself?
Yes. My name is Tatiana Wright, and like Danielle mentioned, I am speaking on behalf of the Con collaboration side. I attended SUNY Cobleskill and got my bachelor's degree in early childhood education in the summer of 2021. After I graduated, I became a head teacher at a daycare for about 2 years, and then I transitioned into a public school in my hometown of New Rochelle and became a special education aide, which started my journey into the ABA field. I am currently working at a private school in Connecticut for about 2 years now, and I work as a behavior technician.
Thank you. Missy, would you like to explain a little about yourself?
Yes, thank you so much, Danielle. Hello, everyone. I am M.Stryffeler.Toothman, and my friends know me as Missy. And as Danielle mentioned, I will be speaking on the side of the pro collaboration today. I've been working in the field of developmental disabilities for over 30 years exclusively with adults. I started out as a direct support professional and have experience in many areas, such as adult day, vocab, habilitation, employment, residential settings, just to name a few. And for the last 10 years, I've been working as a service support administrator. My title is an SSA, and most people would know me as a caseworker. I am the single point of coordination for every one of my clients. And I also have a lead role in the Human Rights Committee in our county. We had several families that voiced interest in ABA therapy because we live in a very rural area. So they were wanting that, and when I started looking into it and I found that I was interested, I kind of felt like that was just a natural move for me. So here I am. I went back to school, and here I am at Ball State getting my master's degree, and I hope to use all the experiences and knowledge that I get from this education and help to train staff and help families that are in need of ABA therapy in our area. I currently live in East Rochester, Ohio, with my husband Brian and my son Avery, and I have two beloved pugs, and their names Phoebe and Zoe.
Thank you, Missy. Brooke.
Hi, everyone. My name is B.Patzner. I live in Chicago, Illinois, and I'll be speaking on the side of pro collaboration. I completed my undergraduate degree at Iowa State University in December of 2020. Since graduation, I have worked with young children and adolescents. I first worked I first worked at a youth shelter with adolescents aged 12 to 17 and have now worked as an ABA therapist for 3 years. My position at my current company is called a training specialist, where I assist in supervision opportunities, training new therapists, and helping with behavioral support.
Thank you, Brooke. Our debate topic, as described on Canvas, is based upon the importance of collaborating with non-behavioral professionals and the ethical difficulties that can arise when behavior analysts are asked to work in an interdisciplinary team. We will discuss both the benefits and pitfalls of interdisciplinary collaboration in a debate format. Let's get started. First up, we have Brooke with our first pro-collaboration argument. Brooke?
Sorry, I was waiting for the screen to change. To begin, I'll discuss how interprofessional teams unite the strengths and competencies of individual specialists to maximize client outcomes. According to an article by Bowman and colleagues in 2021, interprofessional treatment for the management of ASD is recommended by the American Academy of Pediatrics, the United Nations Convention for the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, and the National Institute for Health and Care Excellence, all highly important groups that have an impact on our population net interest. Interprofessional teams create synchronized services, meaning that professionals are able to work at the same time as a team to best assist clients. This offers fluid collaboration amongst professionals. Bowman suggests that having diverse perspectives working together, individuals become a team and can deliver a comprehensive analysis or complete analysis, opposed to what only one professional from one field can achieve. It can be very difficult to do such intensive work alone without collaborating with others who could give their insight um, on the individual too to better create treatment and behavior plans and implement interventions. Professionals are able to work in parallel to achieve desired outcomes for their client. Overall, collaboration within the team combines unique knowledge and skills of each individual specialist and combines them into a coherent whole. Members within the team are able to gain knowledge from other professionals to determine best practices that they may not have determined if they were working only within their own scope of knowledge. By uniting together, professionals are able to take their skilled knowledge and share it amongst one another to become a power team.
Well said, Brooke. However, I would like to offer a counter-argument. While it certainly seems to be the case that a variety of professionals would unite to create better outcomes for clients, there are a number of barriers to this. Firstly, it has been documented in the literature that other professionals hold harmful stereotypes about behavior analysts, which would create significant issues when behavior analysts propose interventions. Bauman and colleagues 2024 surveyed allied professionals regarding collaboration with BCBAs and found that only half of occupational therapists and speech-language pathologists believe that the treatments designed by BCBAs were effective. These kinds of negative beliefs would most certainly not only affect the relationships between the professionals, but more importantly, the access that the clients have to evidence-based intervention. In the study by Bauman and colleagues 2024, some data pointed to conflicting views on the roles and responsibilities of professionals who commonly collaborate in school environments. The authors highlight that scores below 4 on the 5-point Likert scale indicate problems, as a rating of 3 was labeled neither agree nor disagree. As you can see on the slide, across all participants, roles within the team are viewed as ambiguous. On question 6, all but the school psychologists believed that the treatment packages promoted by BCBAs were ineffective. Snyder and colleagues 2024 studied the relationships between BCBAs and school psychologists working within the same environments. The data revealed that school psychologists and BCBAs frequently attended different types of meetings for clients. Unsurprisingly, BCBAs received more training in behavioral practices, functional behavior assessments, and developing and implementing behavioral intervention plans. In this study, the most reported barriers for collaboration were time limitations and having different underlying philosophies. Specifically, the philosophies disagree on the reasons behind behavior, which affects the way which interventions will be supported by both parties. This type of conflict could lead to a tug of war between professionals when selecting an appropriate intervention for the client. In sum, views held by professionals serving clients alongside BCBAs, whether about BCBAs specifically or about the philosophy behind the science, create barriers to effective treatment. This certainly does not point to maximizing client outcomes. I'll now pass the baton to my teammate Tatiana with our first argument against interprofessional collaboration.
Argument 1 while professional collaboration is ideal for clients, it is clear that BCBAs and potentially other professionals do not have the training necessary to do so, which may create more tension when we are forced to collaborate. Working in the ABA field, collaboration is seen as something that is very beneficial to clients, but there are significant concerns regarding the training and preparedness of BCBAs and other professionals with collaboration. Collaboration is not always the ideal way for BCBAs, school psychologists, speech pathologists, and operational therapists to work because there are many differences between the parties involved, which negatively aid how information is received across the parties. There is not enough training done for all the providers so that each party can have a greater understanding of the collaborative mission. BCBAs may not have received adequate training when it comes to collaborative practices, which in turn could lead to misunderstandings and ineffective communication among team members. For instance, this kind of lack of specialized training could result in a BCBA misinterpreting and thus incorrectly providing support and expertise to the situation at hand. This can lead to, but is not only limited to, providers coming off as condescending or belittling towards other therapists, then creating an unintended barrier to proper teamwork. Snyder and colleagues state that BCBAs receive an increase in training revolving around behavioral practices, assessments, intervention plans, and implementing interventions, whereas school psychologists receive an increase in behavior consultation. Professionals from different fields may have a variety of approaches and terminologies, which can create confusion and hinder effective collaboration. This is compounded by the fact that philosophical differences and lack of skills in behavior management are common issues that need to be addressed to facilitate a better widespread of collaboration. When professionals lack clarity about their roles in a collaborative setting, it can lead to conflict and power struggles. This often makes things worse by the presence of superiority complex among power struggles. This often makes things worse by the presence of superior complex among team members, which can damage progress and create unnecessary competition. Collaboration does require training and it is not mandated by the BACB, even if it's mentioned in the ethics code, according to Snyder and colleagues. Henderson also stated BCBAs aren't given enough training on how to collaborate with other professionals before they become certified. And this can cause problems because this can cause a misunderstanding between BCBAs and other professions. In conclusion, while the intention behind professional collaboration is to enhance clients' outcome, the lack of training, misunderstandings, and potential for increased tension among professionals can undermine these efforts. It is crucial to address these trainings gaps to ensure that collaboration is effective and beneficial for all parties involved. The development of training modules and competency tests for BCBAs and other professionals could help bridge these gaps and improve the quality of collaborative care.
Thank you, Tatiana. Missy, would you like to offer a counter argument?
I would, yes. Hello. Although it is felt that BCBAs are not given enough training in how to collaborate with other professionals before becoming certified, this should not be the cause for belief that this creates more tension when professionals are imposed to collaborate. Slim and Reuter Yule believed the roles and responsibilities domain. I'm so sorry, I didn't put my picture on there, and my picture's not on here. I'm so sorry. I'm going to keep going. So Slim and Reuter, you'll believe that the roles and responsibilities domain for collaborative practice is, and I quote, very much related to values and ethics. Collaboration is mentioned in the BACB Code of Ethics and the first of the four core principles to benefit others by effectively and respectfully collaborating with others in the best interest of those with whom they work. And always place clients' interests first. In the peer-reviewed research article, The Perceptions and Experiences of Professionals Collaborating with Behavior Analysts, of the many professionals surveyed for the article, the majority of the participants indicated the desire to collaborate with BCBAs in the future. Although in the survey revealed by Danielle that only half of the occupational therapists and speech language pathologists believed that the treatment package designed by BCBAs were effective, the most agreed upon survey question asked overall by all the professionals in the survey was that the collaborating with BCBAs led to more effective treatments for clients. Team use of the most appropriate working collaborative service delivery models, for example, multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary, and interprofessional, could ease tensions and would not necessarily require training some additional education and the desire to collaborate respectfully and ethically with others, which would be a good thing to have. The Interprofessional Education Collaborative IPEC of 2016 also, as mentioned in both Bowman et al. And Slim Ruderiul, is an organization that was developed to support and advance interprofessional education and can provide the tools for practitioners to be able to effectively collaborate with others. In fact, they have formed general competency areas, and they include values and ethics for interprofessional practice, roles, responsibilities, interprofessional communication, teams and teamwork, all areas in which anyone who works in teams should have competency in order to work collaboratively and successfully.
Valid points, Missy. Thank you. Brooke, what is argument 2 for pro-collaboration?
Next, I'll go into how collaboration may be preferred by clients and their families opposed to non-collaboration. Collaboration can minimize communication complications when talking to clients and families. Professionals are able to share progress the client is making within each discipline while coming together as a whole to discuss more progress. When talking about the team, it is important to note that the family is part of this team. They are active contributors. When writing reports, professionals can work together to address progress as well as concerns in less confusing language by building off one another in collaboration due to diligent cooperation amongst team members. Second, some families may deal with an immense amount of stress when looking for services. They may feel they need multiple professionals, such as in the field of ABA, speech pathologists, and/or occupational therapists, to best fit the needs of a client. With professionals collaborating and working together as a united group, families may feel relieved to know that all specialties are in one place and they do not need to seek additional resources for their loved ones. One thing many clients and families are looking for is individualized care. There is no one-size-fits-all when discussing treatment, and families are seeking a team that will offer a client-centered intervention that are tailored to them specifically. Collaboration amongst professionals allows for the team to make their main focus on the client and best servicing their individualized needs. There may be challenges that arise when interventions are in place and professionals are able to collaborate with one another in unity to address these concerns. Families may feel more apt to seek services when professionals are working together to address such unique challenges that are specific to that individual.
Thank you, Brooke. As we all know, client and stakeholder preferences are super important in ABA. Tatiana, what are your counter arguments for these points?
Danielle just made a great point when she stated that being aware of clients and stakeholders' preferences is important. And in the end, we all need to remember the important factors in making sure that the clients get the most effective treatment and outcomes available to them. The BACB Ethics Code 2.01, titled Providing Effective Treatment, should always be kept in the back of the mind of a behavior analyst when it comes to working with their clients. They have a job when it comes to their clients' rights, and that is to provide services that are conceptually consistent with behavior principles based on scientific evidence and designed to maximize desired outcomes for and protect all clients and parties involved from harm. The end goal is to achieve the best possible result for the clients. Collaboration among multiple professionals can lead to a variety of treatment strategies, which may confuse clients and hinder progress. Different interpretations of data and goals can create inconsistencies in the application of interventions. Dillenberger and colleagues is advocating for a recognition of the value of behavior analysis in autism treatment while also acknowledging the potential benefits of a broader multidisciplinary approach. Ethics Code 3.01, titled Responsibility to Clients, explains what Dillenberger is talking about. It is important that behavior analysis have the best interest of their clients, appropriate steps to support the client's right, and maximize benefits and do no harm. Behavior analysts make sure that they are providing the best evidence practices to their clients, and they cannot agree to go on with what clients/stakeholders want, especially if there is no evidence. There have been literatures that have highlighted concerns about the practices of some behavior analysis, emphasizing the need for flexibility, consideration of client preferences, and a broader range of interventions to enhance the effectiveness of their work. As I explained earlier, behavior analysts have to abide by a BACB ethics code. Other professionals often do not understand that ABA is not just discrete trial training and that ABA practitioners plan for organization. A behavior analyst's job is to always make sure that their clients get the best effective treatment from evidence-based practices and to make sure that they have the best interests at all times, supporting their rights and making sure they are safe and maximizing benefits. In conclusion, while collaboration has its advantage, it is crucial to consider that behavior analysts must do what's in the best interest of the client based on behavioral principles.
Thank you, Tatiana. We certainly should always act in the best interest of the client, even if what we propose is less preferred. This brings me to argument number 2 against collaborating with other professionals. I'm sure you're familiar with the memes that highlight expectation versus reality, sometimes about ordering from foreign websites or well-intentioned craft projects gone wrong. In the case of collaborating with other professionals on interdisciplinary teams, there can be a large difference between expectations versus reality. Ideally, assembling a dream team of professionals who work harmoniously and collaboratively in the best interest of the client would result in the best outcomes for the client. However, harmonious collaboration does not always occur. So there are a few barriers to this. First of all, you end up using valuable time navigating interpersonal relationships in the team rather than applying this time to interventions for clients. But most importantly, poor outcomes for clients occur when an eclectic array of services are provided. While it sounds great to say that multidisciplinary teams can put their differences aside for the best interest of the client, this is not always the case. In cases when ABA, for example, early behavioral interventions, is the most effective treatment, behavior analysts wasting important time on navigating relationships with other professionals takes time away from the delivery of services. As noted by Johnston 2022, there are a wide array of non-behavioral interventions that can harm our clients. When placed on a team with professionals in other disciplines, behavior analysts are put in a position where they must defend their clients against non-behavioral or non-evidence-based treatments. Not only are behavior analysts not adequately trained to do this, it also takes time and effort, which could be more productively used to develop and implement appropriate services for the client. Lastly, as argued by Guzewski et al., eclectic services from multiple providers do not always result in better outcomes for clients. Attempting to link together interventions from a variety of disciplines in a way that will benefit the client is exceptionally difficult. Oftentimes, all members on a multidisciplinary team in a school setting have significant time constraints where there is limited ability to effectively design interventions that will take into account other people's interventions, which could also be incompatible. In sum, there's a large difference between expectations and reality of interprofessional collaboration. When placed on an interdisciplinary team, behavior analysts are forced to navigate sticky ethical situations, such as deciding when to advocate against non-behavioral interventions and how much time should be spent defending behavioral interventions that are clearly more appropriate for a client. With these points in mind, it is apparent that collaboration can be more harmful to a client than helpful. I'll now hand it over to Brooke, who will provide a counterargument.
Brooke, you're still on mute.
So sorry. Thank you. Some may think that collaboration sounds great in theory, but that it does not actually occur in most cases. While there may be things to troubleshoot within collaborating with other professionals, Bowman and colleagues note that truly effective collaboration actually leads to enhanced problem solving, increased efficiency, and access to additional resources. Collaboration does not come in only one form. There are many ways to collaborate, and finding what ways best suits you, as well as your team, must be considered. There was a survey completed by Henderson and colleagues 2023 that showed 98% of professional surveys indicated that they were able to collaborate face to face, 91% through email, 71% through phone, 27% through texting or instant messaging, 11% through video chat, and 3% through blogs. 98% collaboration face to face is a strong number, showcasing the true potential and success of collaboration. There are many outlets for collaboration, and some professionals may find themselves engaging in multiple forms of communication. When discussing collaboration, it is essential for all parties to be active in setting up their unique techniques. Maybe collaboration does not appear to be occurring because the initial foundation was not set up correctly or done differently than others did, which may have gone under the radar. Collaboration needs to be organized, well thought out, and delegation of roles discussed before collaborating is essential for effective communication and overall unity. Proper training needs to be conducted on how to properly collaborate and ethics codes such as practicing within scope of competence, awareness of personal biases and challenges, collaborating with colleagues, consulting with other professionals, and responsibility to clients needs to be thoroughly reviewed. We also want to consider if there were any personal biases that arose prior to collaborating that would hinder the effectiveness of collaboration. One suggestion is providing emotional support to group members to counteract the stress and tensions that is part of their roles. Offering the support helps individuals identify the qualities that will enable them to collaborate most effectively. So while some may say collaborating is not truly occurring, there's evidence to show that it is occurring, but that it requires us to be proactive in setting up our teams. This would allow for proper collaboration amongst professionals so that it can be carried out to the best of everyone's abilities.
Thank you, Brooke. You are so right that there are so many ways to overcome barriers to collaboration with other professionals. Missy, can you introduce us to your final argument for interdisciplinary collaboration?
Sure. Picture here. All right, since the camera is not switching, we are going to put us all on here. Okay, so pro-collaboration, argument number 3 is that pro-collaboration results in better maintenance of acquired skills. One absolute positive or pro that one can argue in collaborating with any team is that it results in better maintenance of acquired skills for everyone that's sitting at the table. Kelly and Tikani of 2013 noted that collaboration may be more preferred by clients, increase treatment integrity, and result in better maintenance of acquired skills. Broadhead 2015 highlighted several professional benefits of effective collaborative interactions, and they include 1, that it provides everyone the opportunity to disseminate the information and educate those who are not familiar with their particular science and discipline. 2, you get to learn and to listen and understand other people's roles, their disciplines and perspectives that are on the same team as you, which leads to the benefit of development of trusting relationships or partnerships that will enhance the quality and the benefits of the services. The Broadhead article also discussed how to maximize client outcomes, that it takes an interdisciplinary collaboration involving all of the multiple disciplinaries and disciplines. Kelly and Tinkani believe the BCBAs or any of the professionals on a team will have the opportunity to work closely with one another, and will find that those collaborations could improve not only educational outcomes, but also increase treatment fidelity. As professionals and as team members working together within a collaborative team, it is valuable to dig in and make efforts to listen and understand the individual strengths, knowledge, and benefits that each professional brings to the table. Like Brooke mentioned earlier, by coming together like this, sharing information can make for a very powerful team. Using an interdisciplinary collaboration by combining everyone's strengths, Broadhead calls to attention the fact that this will result in clients having the opportunity to receive the best all-around services that will meet their needs. In addition, relational work between professions is another pro to collaboration. My example would be following the Broadhead model. It proves to show that we can use ABA to collaborate effectively, and as ABA therapists, gain experiences and use our acquired skills for potential future cases of similar specific, such as medical issues. We can help to make a challenging but needed procedure for a client in the medical field and assist the medical professionals in getting that done. The behavior analysts can help directly alleviate some of these issues and indirectly assist medical teams. This is a quote, by the way, by introducing behavior analytic interventions to increase tolerance of medical treatments, and that was said by Schroeder et al. In 2021. In the end, the collaboration, according to Hall in 2005, yields benefits for healthcare organizations as well that include higher quality of care at reduced cost and greater job satisfaction for everyone.
Thank you, Missy. Broadhead certainly provides some good guidelines to help behavior analysts navigate interdisciplinary teams to help generalization for clients. I will now provide a counter argument. Have you ever heard of the term too many cooks spoil the broth? Multidisciplinary teams create too many cooks. I would like to draw your attention again to the articles by Guzewski and colleagues and Dillenberger and colleagues. Applied behavior analysis is the top evidence-based treatment for individuals with autism, meaning that as ethical behavior analysts, we should ensure that our clients are receiving the best quality of care, which is ABA. For behavior analysts to simply go along with other non-behavioral treatments which may or may not be evidence-based, is irresponsible and unethical according to the BACB Ethics Code. Even if the team happens to agree with behavioral interventions that the BCBA proposes, who is going to implement them other than the BCBA or the behavior techs behind them? What is the point in having other people on a team when the BCBA could utilize their behavior techs and ensure treatment fidelity? It is unlikely that there will be better maintenance or generalization of skills if interventions are not implemented as designed. To illustrate, Snyder and colleagues 2024 found through self-report of school psychologists and behavior analysts that behavior analysts had much more training naturally in behavioral interventions, even though the two professionals have a lot of overlapping scope of practice. The lines in black show data from behavior analysts. Given that school psychologists likely have the most similar training to BCBAs, it is unlikely that professionals in other disciplines would be able to implement our treatments with fidelity, and therefore the skills are unlikely to generalize since they are not being taught appropriately. In sum, literature points to the fact that generalization and maintenance may be unlikely through collaboration. Tatiana, can you explain our third argument against collaboration?
Argument 3 for con collaboration. How does a behavior analysis meet the ethical code for remaining within the scope of competence while also going along with recommendations made by someone in another field who may not be engaging in evidence-based practices? When we are discussing the ethical implications of a behavior analysis practice in relation to recommendations from other professionals, it is important to understand the following points. Behavior analysis are required to operate within their defined scope of competence, which is based on their education, training, and experience. Engaging in practices outside of the scope can lead to ineffective or harmful interventions. This is emphasized in the BACB Ethics Code, which mandates that analysis remain within their scope of practice and continually evaluate the boundaries of their competence. Evidence-based practices emphasize the use of interventions that are supported by observed research. Recommendations from other fields may not always align with an evidence-based practice, potentially compromising the quality of care provided to clients. The Ethics Code stresses the importance of using treatments based on scientific evidence to rely on scientific knowledge and ensure that efficiency of interventions. As a behavior analysis, it is important to make sure that the clients are getting the most effective treatment that there is, and it is important that the interventions do have reliable evidence to support the outcomes of these treatments. And that these treatments show that they are in fact beneficial to clients. Behavior analysis may accidentally violate ethical standards by implementing non-evidence-based practices. For instance, using treatments without scientific backing would be considered unethical. For example, S2C. Anyone that doesn't know what S2C is, it is an alternative communication method that stands for spell to communicate. And it is a method that helps people who don't speak or speak to a minimal to learn to spell. Speech pathologists can recommend this type of communication to families and explain how it is a great source of communication, but there is no evidence-based practices on this type of alternative communication. So it would be unethical for BCBA to consider to use this type of communication. A behavior analyst will present other options, such as an AAC device, picture exchange communication system known as PETS, and an eye tracking technology. Morgan L. highlights the importance of recognizing both of the defined roles of a SLP and a BCBA and the necessity for professionals to operate within their own areas of competence to ensure high quality service delivery. All professionals want the best for their clients, but there is a right way and there's a wrong way to do things. And working with our clients to make sure they are getting the most effective treatment, we must do it the ethical way. Henderson and colleagues state how all conflict within questioning will result in the BCBA not being involved in the treatment plan, which is unethical because the client will not be receiving evidence-based services and that wouldn't benefit them in many ways, according. In summary, while interdisciplinary collaboration can be beneficial, behavior analysis must remain observant about their ethical responsibilities. They should prioritize evidence-based practices and ensure that any recommendations from other fields align with their professional standards to protect the welfare of their clients. This approach not only safeguards clients' welfare, but also upholds the integrity and the efficiency of behavior analytic interventions.
Thank you, Tatiana. Well said. Missy, do you have any counter arguments for Tatiana's points?
I do, but first, I'd like to say I have to include you all on my arguments. I love you all, so I'm going to keep you in here. Okay. My pro or my con counter argument to her third con argument is that following the professional and ethical compliance code for behavior analysts 1.04 integrity subset C states behavior analysts follow through and on obligations and contractual and professional commitments with high quality work and refrain from making professional commitments that they cannot keep, such as going along with recommendations that are not evidence. So behavior analysts can meet the ethical code for remaining within the scope of competence in situations when another professional in another field is not engaging in evidence-based practice, as long as it is within their own treatment decision when using a multidisciplinary model team approach. In this type of situation, the use of the multidisciplinary approach is most appropriate and should be suggested to the team because treatments are discipline-oriented. Each discipline is self-reliant and responsible for the therapeutic activities they provide to the client that would pertain to their very own specialty. With this approach, a group agreement is not required for other treatment decisions. Also, according to Slim, Reuter, and Ewell, using this model, it eliminates the ethical concern for ABA clinicians of being asked to go along with the recommendations made by someone in another field who is not engaging in the evidence-based practices because it maintains a high level of professional autonomy for each profession or discipline involved in this type of team approach. Yes, as Danielle mentioned earlier, regarding reality versus expectations, the outcome of a multidisciplinary approach may not in reality always produce a harmonious collaboration, but for one reason or another, but the expectation should always be that it will.
Well said, Missy. Thank you. And that wraps up the debate for today. To summarize our arguments, the pro-collaboration team argued that interprofessional teams unite the strengths and competencies of individual specialists to maximize client outcomes. Collaboration may be more preferred by clients, and collaboration results in better maintenance and of acquired skills. The con-collaboration team argued that while professional collaboration is ideal for clients, it is clear that BCBAs and potentially other professionals do not have the necessary training to do so, which may create more tension when forced to collaborate. That collaboration sounds great in theory, but it does not seem to actually occur in most cases. And finally, that how does a behavior analyst meet the ethical code for remaining within the scope of practice, scope of competence, while also going along with recommendations made by someone in another field who may not be engaging in EBP? We'll now have a quick questions and answers. Oh, sorry, I apologize. While Tatiana and I argued on the con-collaboration side of the debate, we as a group are in agreement that collaboration is both necessary to best serve clients and worthwhile in creating positive relationships with other disciplines. Interdisciplinary collaboration, when done right, can have many benefits for clients. Unfortunately, it is true that behavior analysts and other professionals end up in complex ethical dilemmas when attempting to collaborate. It is important that behavior analysts continue to work hard to improve the reputation of the field and follow guidelines such as those laid out by Broadhead in his 2015 article. Now we will have our question and answer time. First of all, Brooke, why is it important to properly delegate roles within a collaborating team?
It's important to properly delegate roles within a collaborating team to ensure you're only practicing within your own scope of competence, as well as to cause less confusion amongst one another because we want to work in unity.
That is true. I mean, as you saw through the survey that I pointed out, there's a lot of ambiguity in roles, and I feel like as behavior analysts collaborating with other professionals, there's a lot of room to improve. Missy, how can we inspire the best collaborative team meetings?
I think there's quite a few things I think people can do. Two that I'm thinking of, I would recommend too. It would be like set clear goals and expectations of the team. Also, one of the other things I like is to promote knowledge sharing among all the team members, because sometimes people like to hold back, like maybe they don't feel that someone's going to understand. And then that kind of leaves sometimes a little bit of a contention if someone's not really understanding and they're not willing to ask those questions either to try to understand. So open communication. Yeah.
Definitely. And that helps us as behavior analysts to ensure that what others are proposing are evidence-based, if they're sharing the information with us. Absolutely. Tatiana, in what ways can collaboration lead to ethical dilemmas? Oh, you're still on mute, Tatiana.
Sorry. It can lead to shared accountability, diverse perspectives amongst group members that will help reduce the ethical concerns, and ensuring that the welfare of the child is the main priority. But it also can lead into conflicting ethical standards, which can lead to disagreements, and that can potentially compromise client care, and client confidentiality can be compromised in collaborative settings. And I feel like the more people involved in the treatment process, which can increase the risk of information breaches. But it's also important to always remember the main goal, and that is the client's best interest in providing the most effective treatment. And like Missy has stated, having expectations and goals are very important.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tatiana. I think it's important also to take into account the text by Johnston in 2022, as they have a full chapter, I apologize, on collaborating with other professionals that gives some really good points on the ethical dilemmas that may arise and some ways that we can overcome those dilemmas. In conclusion, When done correctly, collaboration results in the best outcomes for clients. Behavior analysts need more training specifically in collaboration, as Tatiana pointed out. Behavior analysts should rely on the ethics code and the literature to ensure effective interdisciplinary collaboration, which is pointed out in that Broadhead 2015 article. Clearly defining roles and expectations of team members may also be helpful so all professionals are performing within their own scope of competence. And that will avoid that ambiguity that we saw most professionals reported in that Snyder et al. Article. On behalf of all of us, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate your time and we hope that we gave you some food for thought. And that's a wrap.
Thank you.